All right, so we're going to do subtracting mixed numbers, and there are 3 different ways that I taught you guys how to do this. This way that I'm going to show you in this video is the borrowing way. A lot of you guys like to do the borrowing way. I personally do. This one is my favorite just because it's faster, and if you know your multiplication facts, it is pretty easy to do. All right, so the first thing that I always have to do is line up my fractions vertically. So I have 13 and a half, 1/12 minus 3 and 5/6. You always do that step first. And then the second step that you always do is find the common denominator. Anytime that you're adding or subtracting fractions, you have to have the common denominator before you do anything else. So you can use your cheat sheet. Some of you don't use your cheat sheet on this, and that's okay. As much as you practice with it, you should get better with or without the cheat sheet. So we've got 1/12 minus 5/6. We got to find our common denominator, so we've got to count by sixes to see what's the closest thing we can get to 12 without going with and circle the ones that they have in common. So 6, 12. Oh, stop. For our common denominator, we know is going to be 12 because they have those in common. 12 times what is 12? 12 times 1, and 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, this is an equivalent fraction. We didn't have to change it because the 12 was already the common denominator. 6 times 2 is 12. What I do at the bottom, I've got to do at the top. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, now this is where the problem comes in. 1 minus 10, you can't do it. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go ahead and change this 5/6 to 10/12 because that makes it easy with my denominators. Now on borrowing, remember that you are having to take from a whole of another piece. So if I had 13 pieces of pizza and I had to take 10/12 out of it, we just have to borrow from one of the wholes. So I have to take this 13 and I borrow a whole from there. And that whole turns into 12 because I'm borrowing one, but I'm not taking that one away, I'm borrowing it. So it doesn't disappear, it has to go somewhere. Now there's 12 pieces, 12 out of 12 is a whole. That's where that whole goes. You're just adding it to this 1/12 to make it 13/12. So I have 1 plus 12 is 13/12. Okay? Now with 13/12, I can subtract 10/12 from that now because 13 is bigger than 10. So 13 minus 10 is 3/12, right? So now that I have 13/12, I'm done borrowing. I have to subtract 12 minus 3, which is 9. But my problem here is that I need to simplify. If I don't know if I can simplify, what do? Simplify anyway. So 3 and 12. 1 times 3 is 3. That's all because 3 is prime. What times what is 12? 1 times 12 is 12. 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Now we've got to find the greatest common factor is going to be 3 because 1 and 1 are always going to be there, and 3 and 3 match. So I'm going to take 3/12. And I'm going to divide by the greatest common factor, which is 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So our answer is 9 and 1/4 in simplest form. All right, good job.